So Simon and Bertel, tell us the story behind the song Utopia as much as you can remember.
I could start with that.
Yeah.
Berta came with a melody to me, and I was thinking about the lyric. As a Christian, we always talk about heaven, or sometimes we talk about heaven, and heaven seems like a utopia when you look around how the world looks today, or even in 1989. So I was actually thinking about heaven when I wrote the lyrics about Utopia, because it sounds like a utopia when you read about heaven in the Bible. And well, I think we all as Christians dream about heaven sometimes, and how it's going to be. How is it so wonderful that you never want to leave? And so it's like Utopia is like another word for heaven, I think. And that was a dream. As a young boy, I dreamt about heaven many times, and I asked myself how it's going to be. Yeah, that's about it, about the lyrics.
A little bit funny around this thing, where that when you called me, Simon, and talked about this interview, we first was thinking, who did that song? Was it you or me? or
I had to check it out.
It was 35 years ago. So
I had to actually check it out, and I didn't remember the song. So I had to go out on the Spotify and listen to it, and oh yeah, that was the one. And
same with me, actually.
So
have I done that song?
Yeah, have I done that lyric?
I guess when you have as many songs under your belt as you guys do compared to myself or Jason, you can tend to forget over 35 or 40 years. So
yeah,
guys, I can show you the studio. I have it on my computer.
Yeah, why don't you do that while I'm making this note?
That's the old studio I had. We did the music. Edin Adahl.
A beautiful one.
Wow.
And this is my home studio. It's a bit different.
So our version of Utopia is kind of clubby, trancey. Do any of you guys like club music or pop remixes?
Yeah. I really liked your version of Utopia, and I thought it was really, really cool. So I wish you guys had a lot of success with that.
Yeah, really.
Thank you. Do you guys like any other, do you listen to any kind of four on the floor club music just casually?
Frank is the one to answer that, because he has a songwriter school.
I am actually, like 25 years ago, we started an education here in Örnsköldsvik. That's the place that I live. Very difficult to pronounce in English, I think. But we started a vocational education, like for songwriters to live on their vocation, and that was very fun at the beginning. But nowadays, I'm always listening to like EDM style music for South Korea and Japan, and so that's our biggest. We work together with a lot of publishers over there in Asia. So to be honest, I'm a little bit fed up with that kind of music, because I've listened to it so much, so I cannot really relate to it anymore. But I'm interested in it. It's good craft, they work very hard on those songs, especially for South Korea. There are so many parts in that kind of song, like it's you get nauseous when you hear it, because it's so much to take in, like so many details, and they don't just have a verse and a chorus. They have like 10 verses and 10 chorus variations and stuff. And for me personally, it's not my cup of tea, but it's I can really appreciate their work and their craftsmanship. They're really good they're doing. So in Europe, there are more like the German EDM and the Dutch EDM. It's more like the Swedish variation. It's a little bit simpler, a little bit more pop-oriented music, I think, with a kind of a logical build-up with the music. So it's so different when it comes to different parts of the world. Everybody's sounding different. So, but that's natural, I think.
But I'm an old rocker. I like live guitars and live drums and all the old stuff. So I'm actually into rock band at the moment with the guys from the group Jerusalem. So we have formed a band called Larm, and we are actually going to release an album in English soon.
Now that's Jerusalem, the band from the 80s, right?
Yeah, it's the original guys from Jerusalem, except the singer. I am the singer. So we have Jerusalem is now a new group with new members, but the old ones, they are really good and really fun to be with.
Okay.
That kind of leads into the next question. What kind of music are you guys doing now? Tell us what all you've got going on.
Actually, I haven't worked with music for 25 years, but now when I'm getting old, I have been started. So I have done some own music here in my own little studio today, and I think it's very funny. And so I have released an album 22, and I just do the music I like, and it's much the 70s and the 80s and pop music. So that's what I'm doing.
I'm doing a lot of music, but not for myself, only for others. I'm just like what can I call myself? I'm just kind of a hired gun, like going into
hired hen.
Other people's projects and singing a lot of backup vocals for lots of different artists. And
you have done some big artists.
Yes,
yeah,
I
great.
can't remember. I can't remember all the names actually, but
David Foster, you had.
Yes, they have all kinds of names. But I've done a lot of studio work for others, but I don't. The latest, the most recent album that I released myself was in 2008. So that's just after the Second World War. So it's a long time ago since I've released an album myself. And I don't feel the urge to do it actually, because I work a lot with music nowadays. But when it comes to doing my own kind of music, it's, like I don't have the power, the strength to do it right now. So that's the bad part of being hired by many others. You don't have the time to just sit down and do what you want to do. It's not that I say that their music is bad or something, but it's not my kind of music. It's just you do things for others. But that's also my job.
And
okay, today I was recording a video for Pray for Ukraine, and me and a punk rocker from the 80s, we have done this duet, and we are going to release the song both in English, Swedish, and Ukraine. But we don't sing Ukraine. We cannot speak the language. But the thing is, today I was in a radio interview with the biggest local radio station here, and we have been recorded a video. I came back to my home a couple of hours ago. So we are going to release everything on the 24th of February, because that's 1 year since the Russian Federation invaded Ukraine. So and we're doing that because a help organization called Star of Hope wanted us to do the song. I have written a song many years ago called I'm Gonna Pray for Sweden, in Swedish, Jag tänker be Sverige. And then Frank and I released that same song for Korea. I'm going to pray for Korea. And the song is just Pray for Korea. And then before Christmas last year, I got this call from this Star of Hope organization, and they wanted me to do, I'm going to pray for Ukraine. So that's my biggest thing at the moment, because it's media is calling about the song. And we're trying to get the President Zelensky to participate, or if we can do a sample from his New Year's speech. He tells everybody that we are all Ukraine in the language Ukraine. And we have also found a really good singer in Ukraine. He is a really powerful singer, and he has agreed to do the Ukrainian part of the song. Actually, he's a soldier too, so he didn't like our video that much, so he went to the front, to the war front, and filmed, so we should have some really cool clips to the video.
Wow.
A crazy guy. So he has a studio in Kiev, in Ukraine, and he's a really warm Christian, and he's well known around Ukraine. But what a singer. Mark Sergeyev.
So I guess to each of you, where can people check out your current music, or whatever you'd like them to hear of the projects you're working on?
They can always check out Spotify.
On Spotify, Tidal, Spotify, Bertil Edin, then you'll find my music.
Yeah. And we haven't released a song on Pray for Ukraine yet on Spotify, but you can always check out Pray for Korea. That's the same song but different lyric. And check out Adahl. We have a lot of songs on Spotify, and I have released a couple of solo albums, so you can always check out Simon Adahl on Spotify.
And just to clarify, Adahl is Frank and yourself, right?
Yeah.
I think so.
Yeah, we're the same mother.
That's what my mother told me. So,
Well, I mean, I have one of the Adahl albums. Simon was kind enough to send it about 10 years ago, and so I'm familiar with Adahl, but some of the North American fans may not have heard of Adahl. So
no, you have the album Roots. You showed me last time we spoke.
oh, I see. Yeah.
And Frank, anything that you've recorded over the past few years that you, or post Edin Adahl, that you'd like people to check out?
Well, you can check it out on Spotify, but I'm just collaborated with other artists, so it may be hard to find. But under my name, Frank Adahl, or Frank Adahl, as it's pronounced in Swedish, you can find out some of the things that I'm doing. But mostly I'm just behind the other artists, working with the song production and stuff. So it's a little bit harder to find my work on Spotify.
Would you like to put in a plug for your school? I don't know if you need more students or you're overrun.
Wow.
Well, we are happy the way it is right now. We have a lot of students. Yeah, we do.
But you have the students from all over the world sometimes.
Yes, we do. We have actually started an international variation of the education as well. Starts out in March next month, actually. So we're taking in students from even from the United States, actually, but also from Asia and stuff. They, if you look at the music market in Sweden, we primarily look at the music export towards Asia, not primarily towards the United States. It's the biggest markets for us are South Korea and Japan. So we're working closely with those publishers there. So sometimes they send us a couple of songwriters that want to participate in our education up here. So it's kind of, it's different, but it's fun.
When did you start the school?
25 years ago. So we've done the hard work. It took like 5 years before we got recognized by the Swedish community in the music world. But nowadays we are pretty established as an education. We work with all the biggest labels like Sony, Universal, or Warner, whatever you want to call them. Everybody is there. They're giving our students like work to do with their artists. So in a couple of weeks we have like a week with Warner, I think. Yeah. So they bring up their artists up to Ardhulsvik, and then they co-write with the artists, our students. So hopefully they will release some songs from our students as well.
You have had the songs in the American Idol finals.
Oh yes, we have actually have #1 on Billboard in the United States with a couple of songs the last year. So it's pretty serious business. I haven't written the songs, unfortunately, so I don't make any money out of it. So it's, those small children,
Small
they are really
students.
good. Those children, they are very, very good at producing and writing music.
Is there anything else you guys would like to tell your old fans or your new fans?
I don't know if we have any new fans at all.
You will after today.
Okay, that's great.
Well, my advice is check out Spotify, because we've done a lot of things, and check out the group Alarm. That is my, advice to the audience if they like Edin Adahl. But the thing is, Edin Adahl, it seems like a long time ago, but you can always listen to the old songs on Spotify, both in Swedish and in English.
And Larm is LARM, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So, but the English version of Larm is not out yet. We are searching for an American label at the moment, if we can get one.
We love you guys.
Okay. Thank
if
you.
you are out there.
Yeah.
Oh,
We remember you.
yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
Nice.
That's
remember that-
amazing, actually.
Yeah, but the thing is, Jesus is always a part of my inspiration. At the moment, I said the Beatles was inspiration, but I think Jesus has never ever left the top one spot in my life, and I know that's the same thing for both Frank and Bertil.
Yeah.
So we have
Yeah.
always stuck to the message to the relationship with Jesus. So that's really important. I've met so many people during the years that said to me, if you just leave out Jesus in your songs, you can make it like a star. But the thing is, I don't want to leave that. I don't want to ever sell out and not sing about Jesus in some form.
That's great.
Well,
I mean,
thank you guys so much for taking the time out to talk with us today, and best wishes on all your music and projects.
Yeah.
Thanks everyone for watching, and go and check out these guys' music as well as Inevitables. Please like and subscribe to our channel. There's lots more cool Inevitable content to come from the Utopia record, and I'll put as many links to everything as I can find in the show more information. All right, thanks everyone. Edin Adahl, guys, stick around for a few fan questions after I stop recording, and thanks for everyone for watching.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.